Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and we've got some hedge fun ahead of us today. I've deliberately made myself smaller in the picture you see so that we've got room to see this remarkable hedge maze where we have to build the jigsaw puzzle of the hedge maze and then find a way through it. It's a fabulous idea. It's by VFig. I don't know that name, but I'm looking forward to giving this a go. And my normal cautions about we won't often do puzzles with long rules I'll put aside today because this looks like a bunch of fun and a journey and an odyssey, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go. So we'll do the rules in a moment. Don't forget that we've just launched our Extra Bite Sudoku Snack Doku pack on Patreon, where there are 68 puzzles. They're all 5x5 though, so don't be too afraid about the time commitment. It takes a little while, but none of them individually take too long, and they all give you the endorphin boost of a solve every time you get through one of the puzzles. I recommend it very highly, to be honest. Thank you to Skunkworks for creating that, and we remind you about their Snack Doku pack as well from the 1st to the 10th of October in the Discord server. Do check that out. Now, there are links under the video to both the Discord server and Patreon, where you can also find connections videos and Simon solving difficult crosswords, my own attempt at Spider by Saber to come on that. We've got loads going on though. So what else have we got? We've got links to Sven's Sudoku pad under the video and all of our apps, which feature not only Line Sudoku and of course Fog of War, but the worms. And the worms now include Fistamafel and Michael Lefkowitz added to the stable, so do check those out. The puzzles are great. There are consequences to each one because digits feed into the next puzzle, and there are some brilliant hints there as well. When you get stuck on, say, puzzle 3 of the Fistamafel worm, maybe you won't. Maybe you're too clever for that. Give it a try anyway. They're great. What else is going on? I'm going to mention Freddie Hand again, who's the British World Puzzle Champion. That's an amazing phrase that I never thought I'd hear say. So very well done to Freddie, long-time correspondent of the channel for 6 years and more, and delighted for Freddie. Now, okay, that's enough blathering. Let's have a look at the rules of Hedge Fun. So the rules come with a few emojis. Oliver is lost in the hedge maze and must find a way out. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, I will say there are 2 links under the video for how you can play this puzzle. One is in an app where you can move the tiles around and then write on them. And that might be incredibly helpful, but in Sudoku Pad, you're going to have to draw the lines as you identify where the tiles go and so on. And that's what I'm going to be doing it in, because I'm not quite sure how much overwriting I can do in the other app, whether I can use my full suite of pencil marking. Anyway, carry on with the rules, Mark. Draw a path between cell centers from Oliver's starting point in the origin. So this tile at the top left is called the origin, and we're going to have to place that in the grid. Oliver is clearly in the middle of it, and that's his starting point. And we have to draw a path between cell centers from there to one of the exits at the cardinal points of the grid, either north, west, east, or south. The path cannot branch, nor cross itself, nor enter any cell more than once. It can go orthogonally or diagonally, but it mustn't ever touch any hedges, which are green walls. We see some of them down here. Adjacent digits along the path must differ by at least 5, so it's like a German whisper line, the path. The hedge maze must be mapped out by placing all the pieces into the grid, 1 into each box, without overlapping. The pieces may not be rotated or flipped, that's good news. 1 piece has been placed already, that's the cut corner down here, and may not be moved. Hedges do not need to match up between adjacent pieces. That's a pity, because that would have helped. All the fountains which are blue circles, must be reassembled by joining two halves together. The path may not go diagonally through a fountain. Okay, logical. Some flowers, these are the yellow flowers, only grow between a pair of digits that sum to 10. Oliver visits exactly one of the cells beside each sunflower, but must not visit both its cells. Okay. Apple trees, these are the green trees, we've got one in the grid, only grow between a pair of digits. I see what you did with the rule, with the pun there. A pair of digits that sum to 5. So these two digits will sum to 5. Oliver is very hungry and must collect all the apples from the maze by visiting each cell with an apple in. A tree without fruit doesn't have to be visited. Okay, well the rules could have been even longer. They're not. I think we can manage this. We're going to put all the pieces in the grid and then find the path out for Oliver on a German whisper path that can't touch a green hedge and has to pick up all the apples and one each of the cells next to the sunflowers. Okay, well, give it a try on one of those two links under the video in whichever software you fancy. I'm going to start now in our software, so let's get cracking and see what happens. I'm definitely turning on the pen tool for this. Now, what on earth do we do to start? We don't know anything about the path. We know that it starts at Oliver and it ends at a cardinal point. Oh, do we start? Is there a chance that we start with these ponds? Because we have to connect up the ponds. Sorry, I'm just trying to think this through. Yes. Okay, these two ponds, one in tiles called Wonderfully and Flowerbed. There are two ponds represented in each of those. Okay, so those pieces can't go in box 1 or in box 4 because they have a left-hand pond that needs to join up. And they can't go in box 8 or box 9 because they have a pond sticking out the bottom that needs to join up. So those two pieces go into this area of the grid, Wonderfully and Flowerbed. And they can't touch each other orthogonally because the ponds would not join up. So they're in a diagonal pair, either there and there, or here and here. Oh, and I think there'd be a problem with this version. Right, how am I going to depict a pond to show you the problem? Let's try, how about X all around? So what I'm talking about is if I was going to put these yellow cells, if I was going to have them as Wonderfully and Flowerbed, there would come a pond in this position. I don't think I can draw lines between the middles of cell borders or fill in a circle there. So that would be one of the ponds because both of them have a pond sticking down from that part of the cell. There'd be another pond there. But their other ponds would be in the top left corners, like that. And now this doesn't work because there isn't another piece of the puzzle that fits this over here with ponds to the north and to the east. If you look at the tiles down the right hand side, they've either got a pond to the north or to the east. So this double yellow is not the pattern of Wonderfully and Flowerbed, and instead Wonderfully and Flowerbed must be in these groups. Yeah, okay, let's get the letter tool on and put W for Wonderfully and F for Flowerbed there. Those are those two tiles. And now we know where these ponds are. There's one here, one up here. Yeah, this is it. One there and one there. And we're going to divide the other tiles into pairs, I think. So from this right-hand side, we've got now here and U-turn have to be here and here, joining these ponds up. So I'm going to put an NE pair in these cells, I think. And these two, actually, let's give them a color. These two have ponds in the northeast corner. They are quadlibet. Oh, and fruitless passage. Well, I'm going to use a P for fruitless passage because I've already used an F. So they are quad and passage. And the other two cells in the puzzle must be the origin and bifurcated byway. Let's call those O and B. And one of them has Oliver in the middle. And have we learnt anything from this? There aren't if there were overlapping hedges or trees in all the ones that go together, we could draw in those, but I don't think there are. Well, okay, there is one tiny thing. Both quadlibet and fruitless passage, who are my light blue. Let's just give these some colours as well, just to be doing something. So the light blues are quadlibet and fruitless passage, as my letters indicate. And they both have a bit of hedge there. So that is definite hedge. I mean, it's thrilling, isn't it? And I'm trying to imagine the origin down here, or bifurcated byway, and there's just no problem. Oh, there's a problem with putting bifurcated byway down here. Yeah, that's definitely not going to work, I reckon. Here's why. Bifurcated byway would have hedges that look like that. Oh, look, I can draw them. And it would have an apple here. Oh, a lovely red apple that we would have to pick up. But how would you get to that apple from wherever Oliver would be starting up here, remember? How would you ever get to the apple and get out? You'd have to come through that gap in the hedge twice, and that's not allowed. So that is not bifurcated byway down here. This one is the origin. This is where Oliver is. And that one is bifurcated. And now I can draw in the hedges. I can draw in all sorts of things, maybe. The hedges that apply there. And the origin has a bunch. Oh, some of them are on the perimeter, which I don't need to draw. There we go. And now I can draw in Oliver. He can be orange because he begins with an O. There he is. And now there's other things in these. There's a tree there with two apples, there and there. There's a tree and an apple in bifurcated as well. So my green X's are trees. I kind of wish I hadn't done the blue X's, but I don't know how else to show those bonds, so I'm sticking with it. Now, these digits on trees. Oh, all of the digits on trees in the puzzle are 1, 2, 3, or 4. I mean, that must be the case, mustn't it? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because they add up to 5. Now, Oliver is going to have to forge a path. Oh, he's going to have to get this apple. And later, well, I say later, maybe earlier, but I think later, he's going to have to get this apple. And why he can't get them at the same time is because you can't pass between those cells on a German whisper line because they're both low. Right, when you travel on a German whisper line, you can't touch a 5 because 5 has no possible Sudoku neighbour. that is 5 or more away. And therefore you alternate between digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5. And therefore 2 cells in a row will never both be lower than 5. So the line does not go through that way. Therefore the line, what colour shall I make Oliver's line? Let's have it grey. It must, when it picks up this apple, the right hand apple, it must in one way leave to the right and in one way leave to the south, or east and south. And now we know how Oliver, that's the first apple he finds, that's the first step he makes. And then we've got to here and we've got this hedge border, so we've got to come round here. And then we're going to have to exit through here. Now, we can't exit through a line like that because it would touch the hedge. So we might have a little shimmy or not. Not, because there's got to be a 5 in this box, and it's not on this whisper line anywhere, and it's not on that apple, so it's here. There's our first digit, it's a 5. And we're going to alternate high and low digits on this line. And now, actually, now we know which way the line goes because it doesn't go through the 5, and we can therefore alternate. These are low digits. These two must be low and must add up to 5 because those two add up to 5 according to the tree. And then these are the other digits from a total of 10, so they must add up to 5. Then these are the high digits. They are 6, 7, 8, 9. And which ones can't be 6? This one can't be 6 because both of its neighbours would have to be 1 and they're in the same box. This one can't be 6 for exactly the same reason. And this one can't be 6 for a very slightly different reason. Both of its neighbours would have to be 1 and they're in the same row. So the only place where 6 can go is Oliver. He is a 6 and he is touching a 1. And that 1 goes with a 4 on its apple tree. And this pair over here is a 2-3 pair. This pair is now not a 2-3 pair because that would break this cell. If you put 2-3 there, you couldn't put anything here. So that one is a 1-4 pair. And now, do we know which? I think we know. Yeah, this is not Fruitless Passage because Fruitless Passage has a hedge border there. So this is Fruitless Passage. Right, well, we've got going. We've done something. 11 minutes in. Excellent. Right, this is Fruitless Passage. I can draw in, what few borders it has. And in Quadlibet there are more, not many more. Actually, that's all I can do, but I've got a tree and an apple only in Quadlibet. Right, so this apple tree is made up of low digits. And we're going to have to pass through the apple. But I was going to assume that went into box 7, but it could go from there. I mean, imagine this line. That's possible. Oh, hang on. This is low. So we've got 3 of the lows in the box. Oliver's not, well, I was going to say he's not going to escape through the south because he's got apples to pick up still, like that one. Gosh, okay, well, we've done something. Right, we've also placed 1 and 4 in that box, so, sorry, I don't know what happened there. I'm really struggling with my letters now. Okay, I'm removing 1 and 4. That's a 2-3 pair. This digit, by the way, can't be 7 because it sees a 3 on one side or the other. Oh, this apple has to be on its own segment of path because it's got to be picked up. And although we were told the path can go diagonally, I've not found any diagonal segments yet. I think the path has to go through all the way to there. And the 4 is going to be touching 9s along the path in both directions. And that can't be a 9 now. Now this can't be a 4. because wherever it goes next, it would have to touch a 9 in the light blue box. This can't be a 4 because it's neither the beginning nor the end of the path. So it must have 2 neighbours. They can't both be 9s because although you could have 1 in that box, you couldn't have 1 in this box. So that's not a 4. And now I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in the bottom row. And one of those 2 digits is a 1. Oh, so this can't be a 1. There was another good reason why that couldn't be a 1. Because this couldn't be a 4. And they add up to 5. Didn't think of that. Right, this is low, 2 or 3. I can't put 4 there, or this would be a 9. That's 7 or 8. This is low, but this can be a 1. Can't be a 9. Can't be a 4, because that can't be a 9. Oh, that's a 7-8 pair. How did that happen? This is a 9, and that's not. Okay, good. Right, probably need to start considering other boxes, other possibilities, but I don't know where to go. I don't know if I can exit the grid here. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I just need to think of something I can do. These yellows are Flower Bed and Wander Fully. Oh, well, they've got trees in various places, both of those. So Flower Bed has a tree that is either here or here. If it was here, it couldn't be 2, 3, because that would break this cell. Now, Wander Fully has a tree that is either here or here. This one also couldn't be 2, 3, because it would break that cell. This one, this one can't exist. That's really good. Right, this can't be Wander Fully, because if that was a 1, 4 pair, it would break that cell. But if it was a 2, 3 pair, look, we've already got a 2, 3 in column 8. That can't be 2 or 3, and it couldn't be a 1, 4 pair. So this is not Wander Fully. This is. And now I can draw in the details. So, almost all of Flower Bed's walls are already on the perimeter of the maze. So I don't need to draw them. I draw those. We've got a tree there. We've got an apple, not there, here. And we've got sunflowers. Well, I've definitely chosen the wrong colour. I don't need these colours, do I? No, I don't need the colours. Let's get rid of all the colours because they're just going to get in the way of the... Why doesn't that work? Oh. I don't know. Right, I'm gonna highlight the whole grid and get rid of all the colours I've put in, because it was sort of useful for a while, but it's not doing anything anymore. There we go. Now I can put in yellow sunflowers in Flower Bed. That's why it's called Flower Bed. There, and they're 10 sums. Right, so I've fully populated Flower Bed. Now Wander Fully has some borders. I'm going to draw it starting in the middle of the pond because I don't know how to not go that far. It has one tree here and one apple here. Now, this tree can't be 2, 3, so that's a 1, 4 pair. Now this tree can't be a 1, 4 pair because it would break that cell. So this is a 2, 3 pair. And now we've got 2, 3 in the bottom row, and that digit, my friends, is a 1. Which does nothing for the line, but still. Now, at least we've identified almost all. Let's just get, I've marked them up fully. I don't need to know what their names are anymore. and that goes for F and B as well. Right. It's just this E and N which are now here and U-turn still to decide. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get to those. Let's think about the line or something. No, about the trees still. We've got another tree here that can't be a 2-3 tree. This is a 1-4 tree. That digit can't be 1. In this column, we've had everything except 5 and 6, so they're the remaining cells. Now, on these sunflowers, we have sums of 10, and we've used 1 and 4 in the box. So the low digits we're using on those are 2 and 3, and the digits with them are 7 and 8. So the other digits in the box are 5, 6, and 9. One of them's in the corner. This one sees 5 and 9, and that is a 6. It's 5 in the corner, and it's 9 here. And this digit's a 6. We've got stuff done. Right. Now, I don't know whether to think about the whisper path or sudoku or what. Oh, look, that's a 2-3 pair. Looking up at that, it's sudoku still. That's the tip. This is now a 2-3 pair. These are from 1, 7, 8, forming a triple with that. These are a 4-5 pair. Okay, well, that was sudoku. Now, apples. We must pick up apples. Right. This apple is going to be picked up, and we're going to first of all approach it from one other cell, here or here, and leave it into one other cell in one of those positions. None of those cells can be a 9. Therefore, I was going to say this is going to have to be a 2, but what I hadn't thought of was what if it had an 8 and an 8? Okay, it could be a 3. Bother. Wow, okay, I'm going to have to think about the path, I fear, next. Been trying to put it off. Oh no, here's another thing. Right. One of these is a 7, and its neighbour on the line is going to have to be a 2. Yes, one of those two cells is therefore a 2, and they both see that cell, don't they? If one of these is a 7, that's going to force at least one of these two to be a 2. Ah, but they're the same digit because they're different from this one. If I was to colour, I could make that yellow and these two red. That's in the same box, that's in the same column. And those two reds are the same digit. Well, it can't be 3 and 3 because one of these has to be a 7 and there's lines, German whisper lines. So those red digits are both 2s. The yellow one is a 3. This digit has to be 8. That one, therefore, is 7. This one, therefore, is 8. And it's perfectly okay to have a 2-8 connection. You just can't have a 3-7 connection. This has become a 3. That's acceptable. Oh, where's it going to move on to? Where's the line that reaches this going to go to? Not to 6, 5, or 4. It's going to have to leave the grid. That's the exit. Let's give it a little circle. That's the end of the path that started with Oliver here. So the path is going to go round here. Does it have to go... well, yes, it has to pick up this apple. I feel like it has to go this way. And then it has to come back through... it could be through there. Oh, I don't know. Okay. But it's interesting. Oh, hang on. Where do we go after this 9? If it was to there, the digit has to be a 3. So when I say after, it's actually before in terms of chronology. But if it was connecting to this cell, it would be a 3 because that sees 1, 4 and 2. This one it couldn't connect to because it sees all of 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, well, it could connect to that if it was a 4, but then where would the 4 connect onto? To a different 9? Not possible. So that 9 must connect up to a 3 here. And we've extended the path. And then from that 3, we can't go across the pond. And we can't go to that cell because there's no German whisper connection. So we're going to this one, which is 8 or 9 there in the center of the puzzle. The other digits remaining in row 7 are 5, 6, 8. That could be a 4. Oh, look, I've got a 2 sitting here. Goodness me, 3 and 2 are done. This 2, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what that's doing. It can't connect directly to the 3. We can't walk through an apple tree. That is clear from the German whisper rule. Those don't have an 8 in anymore. That's a 1, 7 pair. This is entirely unexciting Sudoku malarkey. Now, there's a 1, 4 pair there and a 1, 4 pair there. So that's an X-wing. So 1 in the box 2 has to be in one of those cells. And 4 somewhere in the top row there. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting very uncertain now. Right, on we go from this cell backwards. Do we hit a low digit next, which is either one of the, we do have to get this apple. Okay, here's something about this 2. Its 2 connections are not there and there, because the high digits remaining in this row would be 7 and 6. 2 can't connect to 6. So those 2 are not the 2 connections. The only other place it can connect to, and therefore must connect to, is here. And this digit is therefore 7 and 8, and there is a connection between those. The 2 is an apple, remember, so we have to pick it up. Now, well, there's a 4 in this box in one of these cells that is not on the line. The line's effectively blocked from... Oh, the line can't go through here either because 3 would have to connect to 8 on both ends. So if the line didn't get out here, and remember that's the exit, it's not coming out of the puzzle here. If the line didn't go through there, it would just die in box 8 and couldn't get through there. Because, oh, hang on, I could be wrong. No, I'm not wrong. 3 can only connect to 9 or 8. So this 3 could only, if it was on the line, connect to 1 digit in the same box. So it is definitely not on the line. And now I think we know that the only low digit this can now connect to, therefore, is the 1. That's what must happen. And this 2, there's no point it connecting to a digit in row 9, column 5. It's going to connect to a digit there, which is a 7. And the other digits in the bottom row are 4, 5, 6. That 7 is going to connect to, well, either a 2 or a 1, but we've got 2s in those positions, so it's going to have to be a 1 in one of those 2 cells. It can go diagonally. We've had some diagonals now. What's this? 5, 2, 6, 3, 1, 9, not possible. 4, 7 or 8, not very useful. The 7 will connect to a 1 here. Then the digit that connects to will be a high digit in another of these 2 cells because it can't reach that cell or that cell. These are low, and it could go there and hit a 6, but then it would stop because that couldn't hit another 1. So It's going to connect to a high digit here, which is going to connect to a low digit here, I think. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm not covering myself in glory here. And I've still got these E and N things to do, haven't I? Oh, hang on. This apple. I've got a good deduction about this apple, not just a bad one. Right, we just worked out, well, I didn't quite say this. Right, what I'm going to say, I don't know why I haven't got a red apple there. I suppose because it was painted in the grid already. Anyway, sorry. Where do the two lines from this go? Not to there, obviously, because that's low as well. One of them could be, and indeed is, to here. And I know that because how many lines can go from there to these cells where we've used up 9 and 8? The only thing that can connect from there to these cells is 2 to 7. And that must occur. These digits are in fact 5, 6, 7. But the only one that can connect to that apple is the 7, wherever it is, which is in one of those two cells. And that is a 2 on the apple. And that's a 3. And the 2 will connect to 8 or 9, which will connect to 1, which will connect to 7. And the 2 up here will connect to 7 in one of these cells. Now, what do we know about now here and U-turn? We know that this is an apple in now here. Well, that is not possible. So this is not now here. This is U-turn. And now I know what these last boxes are, and I can draw in their barriers. This is U-turn, so there's one there and one there. And trees, oh, these trees are going to be helpful. And there are trees in now here as well. And a barrier. Oh my goodness, right. Apples, there and there. No apples in U-turn, but don't worry about that. Now, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 set. That digit must appear there. And these are the other ones of that, and this is not a 4. In the column, you see, we've got 3 low digits there and 1 here. So that is 5 or 6. This is the only place for 4 in the box. And now that's not a 4, and this is a 1-4 pair, which I could easily have worked out from the fact that it's a tree. And this is a 2-3 pair. And these trees, yes, this one is not got a 3 in it. So that's a 1-4 pair. And this one is a 2-3 pair, and we know the order. And things are getting a bit easier. Things are getting a little easier now. I'm probably speaking too soon. That's an 8-9 pair left in the box. That's an 8-9 pair in the row. We've also got a 1-4 in the row, which fixes those cells, and I've finished box 6. These two are a 2 and a 6. We know the order of those as well. Right, can I use this central column where 1, 2, 3, 4 are gone? Not really. I'm going to have to do more path work. Anyway, 2 had to connect to 7. That can't be here now, so it's 7 there. That's going to connect to 1 here. And then a high digit. That's fine. So this is a 4. That it doesn't solve anything else, does it? But let's do the line there. Comes from the 2 and goes up through there. That's good. Now we've got a line here. Look at this cell. There's a line end there. How's this going to get out? This is going to connect up to that. I thought it had to. Yeah, it does, because this needs to go somewhere. It goes to one of those cells, which is where the 1 goes. Yeah, these will connect up. It's either a zigzag or an orthogonal step. But we've got to get out through here to get into the rest of the grid from there. I realise I'm looking backwards. Now that's interesting. So we have to pass through this cell and this cell. There has to be a connection there. And this one is therefore high and is 7, 8 or 9. Now, this 2 must connect down to that 8 or 9. That then needs a low cell to connect to. The 4's no good because you couldn't go on anywhere. So it's got to go to here. And that is probably an automatic connection. Well, I'll tell you what, this can't be a 4 because the only 9s it can connect to are 1 in one of those cells and no others. So that's a 1. And that gives me a couple of 4s and a 1 in an apple up here. And now, yeah, I can't connect to this cell because that can't hit. Well, it can't hit that cell anymore. Why couldn't I connect there? Because there's a pond. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. So I can draw this connection in. And we're all good. We're all good. But now, what next? Gosh, 34 minutes in. Hasn't time flown? Maybe not for you. As for me. I don't know. Still got lots of apples in the northern part of the grid to pick up. I just want to be careful. I don't want to do anything wrong. This digit is not a 7, so the 7 in row 8 has to be here. That was thrilling deduction, wasn't it? I could have actually done that from box 8 as well. This is 5, 8 or 9. 6 in the column is in one of those two cells, so this is not a 6, which is very obvious from that 6 sitting staring at it. I'm sure there's sudoku that I'm just not spotting at the moment. Oh, 1, 4 pair looking at that cell. That's quite important. So this is the 1, and now we can connect up this line. There we go. I think it must be in the zigzag pattern. Now, in this column, 1, 4, 2, 3, 7, and an 8, 9 pair. This digit is 5 or 6, but its C's are 5, so that's 6. This is 5. That's not. In fact, that's not 7 either. That's a 6. This is a 5 by Sudoku now. That is the only place for 4 in the box, and this is the only place for 6. And that gives us 6 in the bottom row. And this group of cells is 7, 8, 9, and this group of cells is 2, 3, 5. That's not a 5. 5 in one of these two cells is going to mean that we do not pass into this part of the grid, because that would require going through those two cells, and the path can never touch a 5. So the path can't go from there to there directly, so it must go via that cell, I think. So I'm going to draw that as the line. This digit now is low, and now I've only got one place for 5 there. Then I'm going to get a 5 in one of those two cells, which is going to be quite blockagey. Yeah, I don't know which way that's going to work. Oh, this can't be 9 anymore. And I've got a 2, 3 pair in the row. 1, 4, 6, 9. Everything else is 5, 7 or 8. And in this row, I've got a 1, 4 pair and a 2, 3 pair. Everything else is 6, 7, 8 or 9. This one can't be 6. This one can't be 9. I'm sorry, I'm just doing pencil marking now, which is rather unexciting. Oh, but look, it's revealed where 9 is in this top row. It can't be there. It must be here. So now that reveals where 9 is in the second row. That's the only place. And is that all the 9's done? This can't be a 9. No, it's not all the 9's done. We've still got 3 to go. The whisper here is not determining them. That's okay. Now we've got to pick up this apple, and we can't go from it to the 4, obviously. So actually this has been available ever since we got the lines up here. The path must go that way. Then it must go there. Now this pair adds up to 10. Okay, bingo. So that can't be, oh no, I thought there was one version that was ruled out here. There isn't. If that was 3-8, it's not 3-8. If that was 3-7, 3-8 is a legal whisper connection. If it's 2-8, that's a 7 and that's another legal connection. I'm so slow. Oh, there's a rule. We only visit one of the cells beside each sunflower, so we don't go to that one. So from here, we must go to this one. And then we're not going to this cell, so this apple has to be picked up like that, because it can't be picked up through the tree. That 9, we can't visit this 4 because it's only got one exit of a 9. So there's no point going, oh, this can't be a 4 because it's connecting by whisper, right, to a 7 or 8. So that's going to do some good. That 9, I mean, it could go into the 4s, but then it would need another 9. So it must go to the 1, mustn't it? And then, well, that could go to the 7 and then go up here, but only if this was a 2. So that won't work. So that 1 has to connect to this cell, which is a high digit and not 5. So that's 7 or 8. This is 5. And this is 9 in the row now. Yeah, it is. And all the 9's are now done. That's a 9. And they're all done. This is an 8 by Sudoku. It's the last thing left. Oh, there's the last 9. Down at the bottom. Wow, and we've got to get to and away from this apple. Oh, I don't want to... Well, hang on. We've got to pick up this apple as well. I suspect it's... Oh, look, there's a 7-8 pair. I suspect Sudoku might be the best way to do this. That wasn't what I was going to say I suspected, but it is now what I suspect. 6, 5 there. Right. This connection is important. Because if that was... No, it's not. Again, that must work. Oh, it's so weird. I don't understand sunflowers, it turns out. Right, from here, we can't go there, so we must go to the apple. From the apple, I'm less sure. I think we probably go up to the 9. From this apple, presumably it's going to link the 2 cells in the row below. Yeah, how do we get to this 9? The only place is from this 1. If you went from that 4, you couldn't get to another 9 without going through a hedge. Right, now there's no point connecting from this apple to the cell on its left because you couldn't carry on. So we have finished the path. Oliver has found his way out of the maze. That's good. And now we're going to use this cell which sees 7 and 8. And 3 mustn't touch 7 on the line, so that's a 2. And I think that might give us enough information to finish. 2 and 3 there. Now, we know these sunflowers add up to 10, so that's 7, that's 8. And now we can probably just do Sudoku on almost everything. That's a 7, that's an 8, that's a 7. I don't think I've broken the rules anywhere. That's an 8. I've got one more 5 to put in. I just want to trace this path from Oliver. 6, 1, 7, 2, 9, 3, 8, 1, 7, 2, 7, 1, 9, 2, 7, 1, 9, 3, 8, 1, 9, 1, 838191728. I think this is all good. 281939. There was a 4 on the path. 49283. And he escapes. No wonder it's a maze. It's a very, very tricky one. That's great fun. There we go. It says, congratulations. Thanks to Malakri, Roger Wrightshoe, Kara Joe Kalinowski, Schmitty and Josh Soup for testing the puzzle. Special thanks to Chameleon for the support in Puzzle TV. And that really is very intriguing. I mean, I do like a bit of a journey, and it just adds to the feeling of accomplishment at the end of a Sudoku. I hope you enjoyed that. Do let me know what you think about puzzles like this. Are they way too complicated, or are they a very good way of having fun in Sudoku? I know what I think. We'll see you again soon on the channel. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.